Okay.
Good evening. I'd like to call the meeting of Monday, March 14th, 2022 to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Walters.
Present.
Commissioner Cole.
Present.
Commissioner Reed. Mayor Moore.
Here. Let's all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You have in your packets this evening a copy of the minutes from our draft minutes from the regular council meeting of February 14th. Questions, comments, suggestions? Otherwise, let's seek a motion to approve the minutes at this time.
So moved.
Second.
Hearing a motion and a second, will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Walters.
Yes.
Commissioner Cole.
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes, motion carries. Hearings. We have a public hearing tonight to provide interested parties an opportunity to express their view on proposals to sell alternate bonds in the amount not to exceed $3 million for purposes of repairing, maintaining, and improving village roads and roadway drainage systems and other related capital projects. So the village intends to sell general obligation alternate revenue bonds in the amount of $3 million for the purpose of repairing, maintaining, and improving village roads and roadway drainage systems and other related capital projects. Public hearing concerning the potential sale of bonds is required by state law. The village published notice of tonight's public hearing in the Daily Southtown on March 4th, 2022. A timetable for events and deadlines related to the bond sale is included in this packet. Staff recommends the council open the public hearing for public comment concerning the sale of bonds in the amount of $3 million for purposes of repairing, maintaining, and improving village roads and roadway drainage systems and other related capital projects. Attorney Jadlecki, we just opened the public hearing.
Yep, you can open it, ask for any public comment, and then close it.
Do we have any public comment regarding the public hearing for the $3 million general obligation bonds? All right, we have no public comment, so I
Move to close the public hearing.
I'll move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Hearing a motion in a second, will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Walters.
Yes.
Commissioner Cole.
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes, and motion carries. Okay. Consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda are routine or have been brought forward at the direction of the Board of Commissioners and will be enacted with one motion. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. A, to adopt 2022-07, an ordinance amending Part 10, Title 4, Chapter 1049, Section 1049.01 of the Palos Park Village Code in regard to waste collection charges. The ordinance establishes the rate charged for single-family residential rate collection through March 31st, 2023. Item B, to ratify payment of invoices on a warrant list dated February 28, 2022 in the amount of $64,297.43. Item C, to approve payment of invoices on the warrant list dated March 14, 2022 in the amount of $78,165.98. Finally, item D, to approve the supplemental warrant list dated March 14, 2022 for manual checks, payroll, and return wire transfers in the amount of $368,865. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Hearing a motion in a second, will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Walters.
Yes.
Commissioner Cole.
Yep.
Mayor Moore.
Yes, and motion carries. Board, committee, and committee recommend for commission and committee recommendations. Okay, we are here to consider the zoning board of appeals recommendation to adopt an ordinance approving a front yard setback variance at 12100 South 88th Avenue. The ordinance states the village council approves and adopts the findings and recommendations of the zoning board of appeals for a 13.395 foot variation from the 76.395 foot minimum front yard setback relative to the construction of a single family residence. So this is a matter, ZBA 2025, the application has been filed requesting a variation from the requirements of section 1268.02E of the Palos Park Village Code in regard to front yard setbacks. This would permit construction of a new family residence where the front yard setback that is required here is 76.395 feet. The applicant is requesting a front yard setback of 63 feet at the property commonly known as 12100 South 88th Avenue in Palos Park. The current request pertains to a previously approved variance that has expired pursuant to section 1264.09 of the code. So the subject property commonly known as 12100 South 88th Avenue is zoned R1A, single-family residential, and is currently vacant and unapproved. The applicant proposes to construct a new single-family dwelling with a 63-foot front yard setback instead of the 76.395 foot front yards required as by section 1268.202E of the Palos Park Village Code. In 2020, the applicant initially requested the variance. The village council approved 2020 ordinance 2020-17 on June 22nd, 2020, authorizing the variance. The council vote was 3-0 with 2 absent. The applicant has submitted for a building permit, which is not an issue. The project has been subject to delays in engineering design. Additional issues with COVID-19 and supply chains have also impacted the project timeline. The village council approved 2021-19 on June 14, 2021, authorizing a 6-month extension of the variance requested, and the council vote there was 5-0. This extension expired in December, with the applicant having not requested an additional extension. Per 1264.09, the previously approved variation has expired. The applicant is requested to reestablish the variance. The subject property contains significant topographic challenges. The high point of 705.7 feet above sea level is located at the southeast corner of the property, which slopes to a low point of 694 feet at the midpoint of the north property line, for a total change in elevation of 11.7 feet. Due to this unusual physical condition on the site, locating the house in a manner that complies to the applicable front yard setback of 76.395 feet creates a burden as to the significant amount of grading required to develop the property. As such, the applicant proposes to locate the new building 63 feet from the front line to minimize the amount of grading necessary for construction. In addition, there are several trees to the rear of the site. Locating the structure closer to the front line will minimize construction impact of those trees. At the public hearing with the ZBA, one resident spoke. The resident resides nearby on 121st Street. The neighbor was supportive of the request and is looking forward to the vacant lot being developed. Staff has reviewed the application and recommends approval of the variance to allow for a 63-foot front yard setback as requested and to allow for the construction of a single-family residence dwelling on the property commonly known as 12100 South 88th Avenue. So the ZBA met on April 9th, 2022 to consider the request. Concurring with the findings as outlined in the staff report, the zoning board of appeals recommended the village approve the variance request and to allow for construction of a new single-family dwelling. The vote was 5 yes, 0 no, with 2 absent. So I assume the petitioner is not here this evening.
The only thing I would say is the ZBA didn't meet April 9th,
Yeah, that's what.
So-
This is March 9th.
March 9th, just so for the record.
Any questions regarding this? you know, the 76-foot requirement relates to the fact that generally the requirement is 50 feet, but if the average or the median of the homes in the block is greater than that, up to 100 feet, the setback can be greater. So on this particular block, there's a house that has a very, very deep lot that is set back, I think it's 130 feet.
That says 189
Yeah.
Yeah, even bigger.
Yeah. So that's kind of what skews and creates that 76-foot requirement. So, any questions? I entertain a motion to approve if there's no questions.
I will make the motion to approve ordinance 2022-08, an ordinance approving a front yard setback variation to permit construction of a new single-family dwelling at the property commonly known as 12100 South 88th Avenue.
Second.
Hearing a motion in a second, will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Milovich Walters?
Yes.
Commissioner Polk?
Yep.
Mayor Mahoney?
Yes. And motion carries. Information updates, Public Works and Streets reports, and Recreation. Commissioner Milovich Walters.
Thank you, Mayor Mahoney. I have a couple items on the agenda. The first regarding a police department vehicle. The Hills Park Police Department is looking to purchase a new vehicle in the 2023 budget year. The vehicle has been budgeted out of the general fund. This item is being brought to the council now, so an order can be placed with Suburban Purchasing Cooperative before the 2022 cutoff date. The vehicle being purchased is a 2022 Ford Utility Police Interceptor AWD and will be available sometime after September 2022. The cost of the vehicle with the desired color and equipment is $35,376. Any questions? Like to make a motion?
Mr. Commissioner, if I just wanted to make a note, we don't actually need to waive the bidding process on this because it was competitively bid through the co-op to get that price.
Excellent,
So-
then I will not mention that. Thank
Thank
you. Make a motion to purchase a Ford Utility Interceptor from Suburban Purchasing Cooperative at the cost of $35,376.
Second.
Hearing a motion in a second, will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Milovich Walters?
Yes.
Commissioner Polk?
Absolutely.
Mayor Mahoney?
Yes, and motion carries.
The next item is regarding a new large format printer. Over 10 years ago, the village purchased a HPT 2300 large format printer from Clifford Wald. This printer has served the village well, as has Clifford Wald in providing service. Though in good working order, this machine is now becoming obsolete as parts are no longer available for any needed repairs. Public Works has put $25,000 in the 2022 budget to cover the cost of a new machine. We recently received a quote from Clifford Wald for a new Canon TZ3000 MFP Z36 printer scanner and with a 2-year full warranty. The cost of the new printer and warranty is $16,295, much under what we budgeted for. Any other questions? I'd like to make a motion to approve the proposal from Clifford Wald in the amount of $16,295 to purchase a new large book format printer.
Second.
Hearing a motion in a second, will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Milovich Walters?
Yes.
Commissioner Polk?
Yep.
Mayor Mahoney?
Yes, and motion carries.
And then just a quick announcement, welcome back shipping service. That will start Monday, April 11th. The list of the dates for the entire season are on the village website under Public Works. And if you'd like to sign up to receive wood chips during the fall, you can call and get yourself on that list now at 708-671-3721. And that concludes my report.
Excellent. Commissioner Reed's building report, I'm going to give that this evening in his absence. It's spring. Do you have a permit? Please note that per village code, all work being done with the Village of Hills Park requires a permit. The permit shall be visible on site at all times. The permit is good for 1 year from the date of issue. Property owner is allowed to pull a permit and to act as a general contractor for work performed on their home, provided that all work is compliant with the village codes. Ordinances and regulations, including registering of any subcontractor's use of the project. All inspections require a 24-hour notice before inspections are needed. All construction fences and silt fences must always be maintained in place during construction. The building department processed permits from February 8th to March 8th, resulting in the collection of $10,299.40 in permit fees. And that concludes Commissioner Free's report. Public Health and Safety, Commissioner Polk.
Thank you, Mayor Mahoney. We'll start with the police activity report from February the 14th through the 13th of March, 2022. 3,618 calls per service, so just a little under the average, which is generally about 1,000 a week. Wrote 20 adjudication tickets, an additional 16 traffic tickets, 14 written, as well as 12 verbal warnings. Took an additional 45 case reports, 12 accident reports, arrested an adult, no juvenile arrests, impounded a vehicle, 14 senior checks, and 26 citizen assists. So that's what the Palos Park Police Department's been up to for the last couple of weeks. And I just have a couple of quick announcements. Again, we remind people, please don't leave valuables in plain view, particularly in your car. Please don't leave your keys in your car if you're not in the car. We've seen quite an uptick again in people entering driveways, approaching parked vehicles, and then going through particularly unlocked cars. I know that, people don't like the idea that they have to lock their cars in their driveway, but then you're at risk for whatever happens. So please lock your doors, and anyone who sees or hears something suspicious, please call 911. I want to remind you again of the medical ID bracelet program. Basically, these programs allow first responders to access your medical profile, generally within a couple of seconds when they're trying to attend to you. So if you or a loved one has multiple health or medical concerns, or various medications to keep track of, or existing conditions that might put you at risk that would be useful to a first responder, this program is free to our residents. Basically, it consists of you deciding what medical information you want to share, and then that medical information is stored in the cloud, which some days is cloudier than others. And there's a small bracelet. It's one of those plastic bracelets you wear on your wrist. And it has a little bit of a code on it, and the first responders know how to decode the code and can act accordingly in a much quicker period of time, particularly if you're not able to communicate while they're assisting you. So how do you get one? Give us a holler, 708-671-3770. Or Chris Hughes, Sergeant Hughes, is running the program, and his email is C for Chris, C Hughes, CHUGHES @palospark.org, and we'd be happy to help you to register and put your information in. And then on a somewhat lighter note, we're kicking off both Coffee with the Cop and Coffee with the Chief. So the first 2022 Coffee with the Chief is going to be this Friday, March 18th, from 7 to 8 in the Captor Center. Again, all are welcome. This tends to be a slightly smaller group than the ones that happen on Wednesdays, which we'll get to in a second. But anyone is welcome. If you have questions, issues, concerns, regrets, opportunities, suggestions, they'd all be very useful, and we'd love to be able to see you on Friday, March 18th from 7 to 8. That's Coffee with the Chief. And then the first Coffee with the Cop, welcome back Coffee with the Cop, is going to occur on Wednesday, March 30th. These traditionally are at the Plush Horse. They traditionally start about 11 o'clock or so, 10:30, 11. And again, it's an opportunity to meet some neighbors, get out of the house, have a good cup of coffee. And our first guest is going to be Mayor Mahoney. So if you want to trade discussion with Mayor Mahoney, he'll be the Coffee with the Cop special guest again on Wednesday, March the 30th at the Plush Horse starting at about 10:30. Mayor, that's all I've got. And I know the chief's down the street tonight, so.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Commissioner. Accounts and finances, we have nothing this evening. I don't have anything formal in our report. We had our Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus quarterly meeting this morning. Legislatively, the caucus and the Illinois Municipal League is pushing to increase our LGDF percentage back, partially the way back to where it was, to get 8%. We have Representative DeLuca has sponsored the bill. We have a number of House and Senate sponsors, almost to the point where we have a majority of the persons that would be allowed to pass it. So we're still fighting to get that done. It looks like it's going to be thrown into the budget vote, but so we're working hard and trying to contact all our legislators to get further support for that initiative. Clerk Aragon, do you have anything to say?
Nothing doesn't see that.
Manager Bain.
I have one item for the council's consideration, and that is to consider a proposal from Sound Incorporated for an updated audio, video monitoring, and streaming equipment for the council room, cost of $38,460. As most of you know, the sound and video recording equipment in this room is over 20 years old, and some of the equipment was purchased used at the time it was put in. Some of the components have stopped working and have become obsolete. Over the years, the village has received complaints about the sound, the video, lack of ability to live stream our meetings, and so forth. The clarity of audio and visual equipment is vital to communicating our information. So the sound upgrade has been discussed and researched many times over the years with various companies offering different solutions. Over the past 6 months, staff began research solutions and met with 3 companies: Advanced Wiring Solutions, EOC, and Sound Incorporated. All 3 companies offered something different by submitting engineering solutions for sound quality, video monitoring, and streaming needs for the various meetings held in this council room. There's a table included in your packet that kind of lays out the differences in the proposals. The latest proposals by Sound Incorporated gave us the least expensive for a new audio system, is proposing a new 86-inch video wall monitor, and gave us an option of incorporating live streaming and web conferencing without purchasing new cameras. Another feature included a telephone dialer for incoming and outgoing calls that would allow residents and board members to call in to participate in the citizens and visitors comment period, during public hearings and the like, without leaving home or having to join the Zoom call. Sound has experience in doing this. They have completed projects similar to this in Woodridge, Roselle, Bloomingdale, Oakwood Terrace, and Naperville. Staff has checked with all these communities, and with the exception of Naperville, has received very positive comments back on Sound Incorporated's equipment install, their responsiveness, and so forth. We did check out their references. The new technology will refresh what we have in this room now. Will allow the village to live stream meetings on YouTube, provide the 86-inch wall mount monitor for presentations and web conferencing. $30,000 was budgeted in this year's budget for this upgrade. The remaining $8,460, if approved, will be included in next year's budget, as the time of this project will flow over slightly into the next fiscal year. Sound Incorporated has also agreed to work with the village if need be to make sure the invoices are submitted to fit within our budgets. We do have a representative from Sound in the room, should you have any technical questions, as I could not answer those.
I would like to, offer a quick clarification. The one option for a telephone dialer, of course with Zoom, you'd be able to have people dial into the Zoom conference. The telephone dialer basically allows you to have either one person call in and be connected up to the speakers and the microphones in the room as if they were another extension, or you can call out to one number. Similarly, you could also do a conference bridge if you wanted to do that, to have multiple participants from remotely. But that dialer is really just designed for one-to-one communication into the room. So hopefully that makes sense. If not, please let me know.
Does anyone have any questions regarding this?
Just so I understand what we're getting, because I'm looking at the table. So we're opting not to do new cameras with the live stream, right? But we're using our existing camera and doing YouTube live stream.
So
I'm trying to look at the table
Sure,
for it to
no
make
problem.
sense,
No
that's all.
problem. Right. So you currently have where you can broadcast, over cable channel,
Yeah,
and basically you've got YouTube capability as well. So there were two options basically to either replace all the cameras, so you got just better quality, high definition, and so forth for those outlets to broadcast, or keep your existing camera system. We just need to add some converters in order to plug them into the Zoom computer and as well as the existing broadcast and so forth. So
gotcha.
that's what those options were.
That makes sense. I just
Okay.
wanted to make sure, and thank you for not doing high definition, because, I'd have to put on a lot more makeup.
Me too.
All right, that's all I got. Should I make a motion?
Sure.
Please.
Okay. I move to approve the proposal from Sound Incorporated for updated audio, video monitoring, and streaming equipment for the council room for a cost of $38,460, with $30,000 expended from the 2022 budget and $8,460 from the proposed 2023 budget.
Second?
Hearing a motion in a second, will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Rutherford?
Yes.
Commissioner Polk?
Yep.
Mayor Mahoney?
Yes, and motion carries. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, that's all I
Thanks,
have.
staff, for all the hard work. They've been working on that for
Years.
Seems like years.
Years.
So, anything else?
No,
Okay. Announcements. Did I have any? Oh, I did. The Historic Preservation Committee will not meet on March 15th. The Library Board will hold their regular meeting Wednesday, March 16th at 5 p.m. The Palos Fine Arts Committee will not meet on March 17th. The meeting has been rescheduled for March 24th at 4 p.m. at Capital Administrative Center. The Plan Commission will not have a meeting on March 17th as there are no agenda items. Stag High School Music Boosters will be holding their Arts and Crafts Festival on March 19th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and March 20th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. There will be arts and crafts booths, vendor booths, lunch and food sampling, raffles and entertainment. Admission is $3 per adult. And that concludes my announcements. Anyone from the audience like to address the council at this time? No such requests. I would seek a motion to adjourn at this time.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Bring a motion in a second. Although the clerk please call the roll.
Commissioner Rutherford?
Yes.
Commissioner Polk?
Yep.
Mayor Mahoney?
Yes, motion carries. Thank you all. And
Sit down there, lock your doors.